Okay guys, so we're already done with this part on the low poly. Now we're gonna do the second part. And we're gonna start with this. With the balls. These are already low poly, so we're not gonna bother. Actually, we can get rid of some. Let's get rid of this just to have less triangles in the scene. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now this one. I guess someone is watching Netflix. I don't know if you can hear that. Okay. By the way, this video is sponsored by organic coconut water. Delicious. I don't believe any organic or coconut water. I don't know. You never know what you're really drinking. Anyway, let's go back to this. So let me see. Can we get away with this? Now, actually, let's add a level of detail. So I don't have the high poly for this, so let's make it right now. Control 2 to add the subdivision surface. But before that, I'm gonna add an edge, or no, sorry, bevel. And let's put it above. And let's make it like this, angle 30. There we go. Okay. Now it looks pretty. It looks really high poly. Okay, now let's do what I'm supposed to do. Geo for geometry. Then turbines. Let's call this direction turbines. Okay, and this is gonna be high for a high poly, of course. Let's duplicate this, and these are gonna be the same, but these are gonna be the low ones. And we're gonna get rid of the bevel and the subdivision, and let's see how it fits. Okay, let's center this. This is the pivot, a 3D cursor. So I want this to scale to the middle, so I'm gonna switch this to 3D cursor, or actually this can stay here in the middle because it's medium point. So let's do that. Okay. And this is gonna be just a little bit off. I hope that looks okay when I... That's my son. Okay. Now let's scale this down. Let's isolate this. And we're not gonna need this face, so let's delete it. And oh wait, I was holding the high poly, I want the low poly. Oops, this is low poly. That's just fine. This is gonna be okay. We'll see how this develops. This is actually gonna help you see how far can you go with this. I mean, to be honest, at the distance we're gonna see this, you're not really gonna notice. Actually, if we get rid of the high poly right now, you can barely see. It's gonna be pretty much the distance. So you can barely see this. Let's hide also this one. This is a low. Let's get some out smooth on. Let's see how that works. We're gonna pull the normals from the high poly too, so okay. So we got these parts. These are gonna stay the same. And now we're gonna jump into the fun part, the main body. Okay, now we're gonna do the low poly on this body. So what should I do? I think I'm gonna grab this. And since I'm gonna use all these parts together, so I want to follow this, and this is gonna be the same. Okay, so this is gonna be geo main body high. This is gonna be geo glass, or shall we call it hatch? Excuse me. High. Okay. And these are gonna be, I'm gonna call everything, I'm gonna name everything right now. Geo water repellent. That's how I'm gonna call this. It's Forbidden Garden technology, so repellent high. But this one is gonna be back, and this is gonna be front. Okay, remember I haven't decided if this is gonna be separate, but for the time being we're gonna go with the first design. Okay. Geo what's the name of this? Pointy thing high. Okay, since I'm gonna be the only one working on this piece, I know what I'm talking about, so it shouldn't be a problem. The camera is shaking so much, I'm sorry. but it's fine. The computer is not shaking, so concentrate in the computer, not in me. Phone call. Okay, got a phone call. Like, it doesn't really matter for this. I'm gonna export the whole mesh for the main body, but I still like to name things. Okay, so what about this sphere? Oh, I know what this sphere is. Geo, feelings, high, which are gonna be the same. Actually, let's leave this at low so I don't forget to export. And I know this video is a bit boring, but this is pretty much a workflow I will go with in production. It doesn't matter if it's small or big. This is a workflow. This is a way to go. Okay, I forgot to add my statistics so I can see how many triangles. I mean, right now it doesn't matter with the high poly, but with the low poly, it's gonna matter. Okay, let's do this. So I'm gonna grab these two. I'm gonna duplicate. I'm gonna isolate. I'm gonna join them. And I'm gonna start deleting things here. Let's delete this, faces. Same for this. Let's delete this, faces. Let's grab the inside. Control L, so everything inside is selected. Faces. I'm gonna delete the subdivision surface because this is gonna be our low poly, as you can see. Okay, and we're gonna merge this. So these ones are gonna move here. I select the vertices, the vertex, press G, and then I hold Control so it snaps to the vertex. If it's not snapping, then you gotta make sure your snap to is set to vertex. Okay, 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 okay. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And this one here. Okay, now these ones. This one, this one, this one. Okay, and now I'm gonna select everything. I'll press A, M by distance. So these are combined. Okay, and I'm gonna leave these. I'll leave them just as a guide for later on. Let's delete this. Faces. Okay. Let's grab this M on the keyboard and at center so they merge. Same here, same here, same here. There must be another way faster. But I'm just grabbing this and merge at center. Okay. And there's too many vertices here. I could delete all of this. since I already have the other, might as well use it. Okay, so as you can see, this is my low poly, and my high poly, it's coming up. This is gonna bake nicely, so that's fine, but I gotta take care of this part on the top, and we're gonna go to vertices, so we make sure we're only grabbing these parts, this part. Okay, this one is just too high, and this one we have to do this. I hit Control B for kind of a bevel, and I just added subdivision there. Let me see what's a Control R. You add a loop, so since the loop ends there, so I'm not gonna be afraid of using this loop, so I keep the shape so it looks nice and round, or at least as close as I can. There we go. Actually, this was okay here. Okay. Now you can see the shape is not bad. And I'll add another one here. Yes, we keep the shape. This one ended here. We're gonna have a whole bunch of triangles. I think it'll be fine. We shouldn't, but it's gonna work. So as you can see now, it matches the low and high. And this one is gonna be another mini pain in the butt. Let's see how this turns out. Okay, this is a bit too up. Just leave it like that. Let's do this. Down, inside. I think it's gonna be okay there. Now this part, we gotta make it work here. I'm cheating, but it's gonna work, believe me. And by cheating, I'm saying I should do a little bit more tweaking, but I don't want to spend too much time on this model. So I'm just doing what I know I can get away with, and still it's gonna look beautiful, so you just wait. Okay, so this part is gonna work. Then the back, but first I'm gonna do this since it's faster. Let me see, yeah, that's the last part. Extrude with E, and I'm gonna need to pull the 3D cursor here, and by that I grab one vertex and the other one on the bottom. Shift S, I get this menu, but I gotta hold Shift S and then drag to cursor to select it, and it's gonna step here in the middle. Now I select everything, and oops, I forgot to change this on top, 3D cursor. And there we go. Okay, and I'm gonna fill it up just like that. And we got our low poly. Oh no, I forgot this part. Let's see. Let's delete this one, we don't need it. We don't need that one. We don't need that one. We don't even need this one. Wait, am I hitting the high or the low? Oh, okay, never mind. I actually need that one. That was the last one. Okay. Now I'm gonna set the 3D cursor here. Same thing. I grab top vertex, bottom vertex, Shift S, bring the cursor to select it, and I'm selecting it. So it's gonna move from pivot, and I'm gonna click, Alt click to select the loop. Okay. Okay, and let's move it to the... Okay, we need a bit more. And I think that's good. Yeah, this is gonna be okay here. Oh, this camera just keeps moving that way. Okay. There we go. And I think this is gonna be the last one. Yeah, let's pull it. Actually, let's dissolve edges. And I think that should be alright. Okay, we got it. So now that the boring part is done, we're gonna select this low, but actually this is gotta be main body. And there we go. We got the low poly and the high poly. And as you can see, they match. I wouldn't say perfectly, but still it works beautifully. So I'm just gonna move this one up. I was still missing this part. Yeah. There we go. Okay. And this one. Yeah, that's a low. Okay, so we got the low. Now I think this is a bit too... Okay. Let's do this. I gotta grab this. Shift S. So I get to see a little bit more of the shape. And it keeps working really good. This is looking a bit crappy, but we can get away with it. So with that, we finished the low poly, and now we're gonna jump into UVs. Okay, but let's leave the UVs for another video, and then we'll jump to the substance painter video. Okay, so let's leave it here. We got the high poly and the low poly. So see you in the next video.